This is the Module 3 blog. First, I wanted to start by going over the outside sources that I'll be referring to, and I also have my notes here on the right just so I don't miss any of the questions. I'll be using our book that we have for this class, which is Grohar-Murray and Langan, 2011 Leadership and Management in Nursing, which is the 4th edition. And then the article I'll be referring back and forth to is written by Jones, Jamerson, and Pike, published in 2012 in the Nursing Management Journal. It's called The Journey to Electronic Interdisciplinary Care Plans. It's the 43rd edition. So I wanted to first talk about when I did my leadership questionnaire that we were provided. It showed that I scored highest in the interpersonal section. I think that leadership aligns with my view of how I see myself in leadership. It's a great skill, I feel, to have when leading a group of people or if you're in a managerial role. I think I interact well with others, and I see a lot when I act as charge nurse, which is 3/4 of my shifts on my unit. I come across many problems with nurse to nurses and patient and nurse, or just patients, family members having problems in general. I come across many problems, and when acting as a charge nurse, I feel that I diffuse situations calmly but matter-of-factly. So I think that's one of the positive qualities that I have. I also think that my organizational skills would benefit me when it comes to securing needed resources such as staff, like the post wanted us to point out. According to our book, making sure that the unit has enough staff requires planning and ability to make adjustments to adequate resources for the unit. And I think as a nurse, and when leadership's opposition, I stay very organized, so I allow myself times for things that I don't plan for, which everyone knows things can go quickly wrong in nursing, so I plan ahead so I will have time to deal with those things. I think interdisciplinary care in hospitals is extremely important. It's important that nurses can talk to upper management comfortably, that being the actual manager, the go-between, and people ahead of your manager, as well as doctors, nurse practitioners, PAs, lab, everyone, as long as everyone is working together to provide patient care. I also think it's important to include the patient in their actual care and patient's family, and that they may feel a part of it. The nurses must work together with doctors, lab techs, nurse aides, and the article that I chose to talk about talks about needing technology that improves this interdisciplinary care communication, called Health IT. And one of the quotes from the article that I'll read is, "Health IT provides the necessary platform for improved interdisciplinary communication and collaboration, improved care transitions, and handoff, the opportunity for patient and family participation in the care process, and greater care efficiency. It is extremely important that nursing leadership also be involved and able to step in when needed," such as the other day, one of our patients on the unit called a situation H, which is basically the patient feels that their needs aren't being taken care of and needs to be dealt with immediately. And everyone comes together, including the charge nurse, the care nurse, the doctor that is assigned to that patient, managers, the OA, the operations administrator, as well as any social care work that they need. All these people come together to address one certain issue. And so in that case, everyone has to be able to work together. And this Health IT provides technology as far as like documentation, so that everyone can see the same thing that is documented for that certain patient, so that they can work easier together. If I were in a leadership role, I would need to effectively be able to work with all levels of the interdisciplinary care team. My current managers interact with nurses on a daily basis, especially when there's a patient issue like I just described. Patient's family, and even environmental services. They always make sure that the nursing unit is clean, that, for instance, the oxygen tanks are in the correct storage place, and that the everything is just in its place and not in the way of patients walking and things like that. They also interact with IT on a daily basis. If our phones aren't working, or the charge nurse phone isn't working, or maybe the telemetry monitors go down, I feel comfortable enough that I can call our manager and say, hey, I've had this issue overnight since I work night shift and a lot of things can't get dealt with at night. I've had this issue overnight. Do you mind handling it today? And there's never any problem. I feel that I recognize more with the vertical structure of leadership, which is the manager at the top making decisions, but delegating things to authority and lower levels of managers and staff. On our care unit, we have our manager, then we have our clinical team lead, then we have charge nurses, then we have care nurses. And we all worked cohesively together. I'm able to go to my nurse manager comfortably about things. If he's not available, I can certainly go to my clinical team lead. We charge nurses work in a group together, and then our care nurses. I feel that this works well on our unit because the personalities are different, and if you have an issue that you want to discuss with a certain person, that personality is available. Or if you feel that you're not comfortable discussing, a certain personal situation with our male manager, we have our clinical team lead, which is a female manager, but they work together and they do many of the same things. And they delegate easily. So a lot of times our manager would delegate tasks that maybe the charge nurses need to get done on night shift, which is convenient, and it makes us feel that they are keeping us in the loop as well as letting us be a part of making the unit better.